English podcast
by Speak English with Grace.
Imagine this. You go to bed feeling like a superhero. You tell yourself, tomorrow is the day. I will wake up early, study English for 2 hours, eat only salad, and finally start that big project. You feel so motivated. But then, morning comes. The alarm rings, and suddenly, that superhero feeling is gone. Your present self just wants 10 more minutes of sleep and a donut. We have all been there, haven't we? We have big dreams, but life just seems to get in the way. But what if I told you there is a scientific reason for this and a simple way to fix it? Welcome back to the Hop English podcast, right here on the Speak English with Grace channel. I am Mona, and I am so happy to be leading our show today. And joining me to fight the donut temptation is my wonderful co-host, Steven.
Hey everyone, I'm Steven. And Mona, wow, you caught me completely. He must have been looking through my window this morning. My future self promised to go for a 4-kilometer run, but my present self decided the blankets were a warm, cozy heaven. It feels impossible to beat that morning laziness sometimes.
Don't worry, Steven, you definitely aren't alone. Before we dive in, if you have ever felt stuck between a big dream and a lazy morning, just type one word in the comments right now. Stuck. Go ahead, do it. We see you. Okay, let's continue. Today, we are talking about something very special. Dreams and goals. We want to help everyone listening turn those big wishes in your heart into real daily habits. And the best part? We are doing this in simple, easy English, perfect for our intermediate and beginner learners. So grab your favorite drink, relax your shoulders, and let's jump in.
I'm ready. But first, Mona, I have to challenge you on this. Why is it so hard? We genuinely want these positive changes, but we stay completely stuck on the sofa. Is it truly not just a lack of willpower or laziness?
That is a great question, and here is the catch. It's often not laziness at all. It's actually a misunderstanding of what a dream is versus what a goal is. People use these words like they are exactly the same thing, but they serve two completely different purposes in your life. Think of it like this. Dreams are passive. They are like beautiful stories that happen in your mind. They are imaginative, whimsical, and they make you feel inspired. But dreams are often out of your control. You can dream of being a famous singer or a fluent English speaker, but a dream by itself doesn't require a timeline or a plan. It's simply a beautiful wish for the future.
Wait, Mona, you used a beautiful word there, whimsical. For our learners listening, what does whimsical actually mean in this context?
Oh, thank you for catching that, Steven. Whimsical means playful, fanciful, or coming from a place of pure imagination without being tied to real-world rules, like imagining you can fly.
Oh, I see. So if I understand it right, dreams are the imaginative what, and goals are the practical how?
Exactly. Goals are active. They are precise commitments. While a dream is whimsy, a goal is a structure. It is a firm decision. You cannot meet a goal if you don't know why you want it. A goal is like yeast in bread. It's the driving force that makes the bread rise. But here is the thing that scares people. Meeting a goal actually changes your daily identity. That can be exhilarating, but it can also be a little frightening.
That makes so much sense. I have plenty of dreams. For example, I constantly dream about having a small house with a beautiful garden where I can record this podcast with birds singing in the background. But if I only sit here and imagine it, the ground doesn't dig itself. Nothing happens.
Right. And to make that garden real, or to make your English fluent, you need to move from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. This is a massive concept from a famous psychologist named Dweck. If you have a fixed mindset, you believe you are either born smart or you aren't. You think, I'm just naturally not good at languages. And you give up the moment things get hard. But a growth mindset, that is the absolute belief that your intelligence and your skills can grow with hard work, strategies, and perseverance.
It sounds wonderful, Mona, but is that just motivational speaking? Or is there real proof? Can an adult baseline intelligence actually change?
It is 100% scientific, Stephen. Science shows that the physical brain actually adapts, rewires, and grows as we learn. It's called neuroplasticity.
Neuroplasticity. That sounds like a massive medical word. Can you break that down into simple English for us?
Of course. Neuro refers to the brain's nerve cells, and plasticity means flexibility or the ability to be shaped. So when you make an English mistake and actively correct it, your brain is physically building new pathways. It is growing. So every time you struggle with a new English word, don't feel bad. Feel excited. Your brain is literally getting a physical workout.
Well, I'll try to remember that next time I completely forget the past tense of an irregular verb. I'll tell myself, my brain is just lifting weights right now. But Mona, even if I have a good mindset, I still struggle with procrastination. I tell myself I'll study later, and that later never actually arrives on the calendar. Why do our brains do that?
Ah, the later trap. Procrastination is a challenge we all face. It's actually an emotional battle between your present self and your future self. Your future self wants the long-term reward, like being totally fluent in English and getting a global promotion. But your present self wants instant gratification. It wants comfort. It wants to watch funny cat videos or eat a delicious donut right now.
So you're saying my present self is basically a grumpy toddler who wants candy right this second and completely ignores what the future self needs to be healthy and successful?
Yes, exactly. That is the perfect way to visualize it. To beat this toddler mindset, we have to make the rewards of taking action much more immediate. We can use a behavioral strategy called temptation bundling. This is where you only allow yourself to do something you absolutely love while you are doing the specific thing you usually procrastinate on. For example, you only listen to your favorite entertaining English podcast while you are walking on the treadmill at the gym. Or you only drink your premium favorite coffee while you are doing your difficult English grammar homework.
Oh, I really like that strategy. It means I can bundle my favorite dark chocolate snack exclusively with my vocabulary flashcard practice. No cards, no chocolate. But Mona, what about when the task itself just feels too massive? Like the idea of learning English feels like looking up at Mount Everest. I get paralyzed just looking at the size of it.
That is because you are staring at the top of the mountain instead of looking at your shoes for the very next step. We need to make the task so small that it is impossible to fail. There is a great rule for this called the 2-minute rule, popularized by productivity experts. It says, when you start a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes to do. Instead of telling your brain, I will sit down and study English for an hour, you tell your brain, I will open my notebook and read exactly 1 sentence. Once you open the book, the friction of starting is gone, and it's much easier to keep going.
Just 2 minutes. I could definitely commit to 2 minutes without feeling overwhelmed. It's like a clever way of tricking my brain into starting before it realizes it's doing work.
It really works. And another secret to staying consistent over months and years is having a daily anchor. An anchor keeps a heavy boat in one exact place so it doesn't drift away into the ocean. A daily anchor keeps your dreams safely inside your busy day. For me, my personal anchor is working on building my English course for just 15 minutes every single morning before I check my phone. It's not a huge amount of time, but little by little, day by day, the course grows. I always tell myself this phrase, I'm coming slowly, but I'm coming.
I'm coming slowly, but I'm coming. Oh, I love that sentence so much, Mona. It's incredibly encouraging for someone who feels they are moving at a snail's pace. For my anchor, I think I could commit to putting a small amount of money into my future home and studio account on the first day of every month. Even if it's just a few small coins, it physically connects my day to my dream.
Exactly. And for all of you listening to our voices right now, what is your daily anchor going to be? Maybe it's simply listening to this podcast episode. If you are enjoying this conversation and want more practical tools to help you succeed, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for the Hop English podcast right now. We upload these detailed episodes to help you grow your English language skills and your life at the same time. Also, to help you take action, we've put together a special Dream to Goal digital planner that you can find linked in the description below. It's a wonderful way to support our channel and keep your goals beautifully organized.
Speaking of organization, Mona, I have a question about a framework I see everywhere online. People always talk about SMART goals. Does that actually work in reality, or is it just a buzzword?
SMART goals, which stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, are a very popular and highly effective framework. It helps you stop being vague. Instead of saying a vague phrase like, I want to be healthy, a SMART goal forces you to say, I want to lose 5 kilograms by June 30th by walking for 30 minutes every evening. It gives you a clear mathematical path. But Stephen, there is an even more powerful method backed by over 20 years of psychological science. It's called the WHOOP method.
Whoop? Like an exclamation of joy? Like whoop, there it is?
Exactly! And for all of you listening to our voices right now, what is your daily anchor going to be? Maybe it's simply listening to this podcast episode. If you are enjoying this conversation and want more practical tools to help you succeed, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for the Hop English podcast right now. We upload these detailed episodes to help you grow your English language skills and your life at the same time. Also, to help you take action, we've put together a special Dream to Bowl digital planner that you can find linked in the description below. It's a wonderful way to support our channel and keep your goals beautifully organized.
Mental contrasting. That sounds a bit negative. Do I have to force myself to focus on bad things happening?
Not bad things outside of your control, but rather the real internal obstacles that stand in your way. You wish for the goal. You imagine the best outcome, and then you honestly ask yourself, what is the specific internal obstacle inside me that stops me? Maybe it's fear of judgment, or feeling too tired after work, or getting instantly distracted by phone notifications. Once you identify that obstacle clearly, you create an if-then plan.
Oh, let me try to make one right now. If I feel too tired after a long day at work, then I will listen to just 5 minutes of the Hop English podcast in bed instead of opening a heavy, difficult grammar textbook.
Perfect. That is exactly what science calls an implementation intention. It completely takes the stressful thinking and deciding out of the moment. When the obstacle appears, you don't have to waste mental energy deciding what to do. You already decided the night before. This simple strategy has been proven to triple your chances of successfully finishing a difficult goal.
Wow, tripling the chances? That is a massive statistical difference. It's like giving your future self a protective map and a shield before the morning battle even starts.
It really is. And it's so incredibly important because modern life is very noisy. There are what I call dream thieves lurking everywhere. Constant notifications, social media, infinite scrolling, and even that very comfortable living room sofa that coaxes you to forget your long-term ambitions. We have to actively protect our limited attention.
Dream thieves. I am definitely writing that phrase down. My smartphone is absolutely a professional, certified dream thief.
Mine too, Stephen. That's why we cannot rely on willpower alone. We need to intentionally design our environment. If you want to study English first thing in the morning, put your phone in a completely different room the night before. If you want to exercise, lay your gym clothes out right next to your bed. Make the good habits incredibly easy to start, and make the bad habits highly inconvenient to access.
This is all so incredibly helpful, Mona. I feel like my mindset is finally shifting from just passively dreaming to actively doing. But what happens when we inevitably feel discouraged? What if we completely miss a day or a week of our new habits?
That is where the real secret lies, Stephen. But here's the catch. Most people handle failure and mistakes the completely wrong way, and that emotional guilt stops them from trying forever. But there is a specific way to handle a setback that actually makes your resolve stronger. One major reason it is so easy to slip back into old, comfortable patterns time after time is that we don't have a clear, reliable system for deciding what is actually important to accomplish each morning. We wake up, look at a giant, overwhelming list of tasks, and freeze. To fix this, we can use a very famous historic tool called the Ivy Lee method. It was invented over 100 years ago, and it remains one of the absolute best ways to maintain high daily productivity.
Wait, 100 years ago? Mona, can a method from the era of steam trains and paper notebooks really work in our modern world of smartphones and constant digital alerts?
It actually works better now precisely because of how simple and restrictive it is. Here is how it works. At the end of every single workday, you take a piece of paper and write down exactly 6 important things you want to accomplish tomorrow. Only 6, no more. Then you strictly rank those 6 items from number 1 to number 6 based on their true importance. When you start your morning tomorrow, you are forbidden from looking at the whole list. You look only at task number 1. You work on it with total focus until it is completely finished. Only then do you move to task number 2.
Only one task at a time? But Mona, I am a chronic multitasker. I usually try to check my emails, listen to an educational video, and review my English vocabulary all at the exact same time. Doesn't that save time?
That is the single biggest productivity mistake, Stephen. When you attempt to multitask, your brain doesn't actually do things simultaneously. It rapidly switches focus, creating what scientists call attention residue. Your attention becomes scattered. You feel incredibly busy, but you aren't being effective at all. The Ivy Lee method forces you to single task. It entirely removes the exhausting friction of starting because you already did the hard work of deciding the night before. You don't waste 3 hours of your morning wondering what you should study.
I can honestly see how much mental energy that would save. I usually spend my entire morning just trying to pick which English book to open.
Exactly. And while you are steadily working through your daily list, you have to be very careful to protect your heart. As you try to grow, people around you will sometimes say your dreams are far too big, or that you are far too old to master fluent English. They might even laugh or dismiss your efforts. We call these people dream doubters.
Those kinds of comments really pierce the heart, Mona. It makes me want to put my dreams in a dark box, hide them away, and just blend in so I don't get judged.
Don't you dare hide it, Stephen. Instead of hiding your dream, just give it a protective jacket. Remember that many times when people look at your ambitions and say something is impossible, they are actually projecting their own internal fears and unhealed limitations, not defining your true limits. They are simply scared of taking risks themselves. You have to show deep, unwavering loyalty to your dream, especially on the days when the progress feels heavy and slow.
Loyalty? That's a very strong, serious word to use for a dream.
It is a strong word, Stephen. Loyalty means you choose to stay with your dream even when the initial excitement has completely faded and it feels like hard work. On those tough days, instead of overwhelming your mind by asking, "Am I strong enough to sustain this for the next entire year?" You simply ask your heart one small question. What can I do for my dream in the next 10 honest minutes? 10 minutes of focused practice is incredibly powerful. It tells your heart that you still care. Every single morning, look in the mirror and ask yourself, today, am I acting for my dream or against my dream?
I want to choose to be for my dream every single day.
And even if you have a chaotic, bad day where everything goes wrong, always remember that a big dream is not a strict deadline. It is a lifelong direction. A compass doesn't shout at you or get angry because you aren't arriving faster. It simply quietly shows you which way to walk. If your face is turned toward your dream, you are winning.
I feel so much better hearing that perspective. It's completely okay to go slowly, as long as I'm consistently walking in the right direction.
I'm so glad you said that, Stephen, because the absolute truth is, the road to achieving a meaningful dream is never a neat straight line. It looks much more like a chaotic scribble. But before we talk about how to handle those inevitable scribbles and setbacks, I want to emphasize why the Ivy Lee method is the ultimate antidote for someone who feels drowning in a giant to-do list.
I definitely feel that drowning sensation. Sometimes I have 20 different things written down, I get completely overwhelmed by choice paralysis, and I end up doing absolutely zero because I don't know the perfect place to start.
Exactly. And that is precisely why the strict number 6 is so magical. When you limit yourself to only 6 tasks for the next day, you are forced to make tough, honest decisions. You have to ruthlessly prune your ideas and trim away everything that isn't absolutely necessary for your growth. It's just like a beautiful garden. You must pull the weeds so the flowers have actual room to grow.
Okay, let me analyze my own habits here. If learn English is my ultimate goal, I shouldn't just write the phrase learn English on my daily Ivy Lee list, right? Because that still feels like a giant, intimidating mountain.
No, absolutely not. Remember what we established about goals being highly precise commitments? On your daily Ivy Lee list, you must break it down into a tiny micro action. You might write, number 1, listen to exactly 10 minutes of the Hop English podcast and write down 3 new words. That is a specific, completely measurable action. And here is the golden secret to the whole method. You must work on task number 1 until it is 100% finished. No jumping ahead to task number 4 just because it feels easier or more fun.
Okay, you caught me yet again, Mona. I am completely guilty of doing the easy, fun, low-priority stuff first and leaving the difficult, high-value tasks for the very end of the day when my brain is completely exhausted.
We all naturally do that because our brains seek comfort. But when you single task, meaning you lock your focus onto just one thing at a time, you become vastly more effective. Multitasking is a psychological myth. It simply drains your brain energy and leaves your attention fractured. By deciding your number 1 priority the night before, you completely remove the morning friction of starting. You wake up, you see the list, and you just go.
I love that structure. It saves so much precious decision-making energy. But Mona, what if I'm in the middle of doing my number 1 task and I suddenly hit a wall? What if a grammar rule is too hard and that old fixed mindset starts whispering to me that I'm just not smart enough to get this done? How do I fight that inner voice?
That is the exact moment where we need to talk about grit. Grit is a powerful concept made famous worldwide by the researcher Angela Duckworth. It means having intense passion and long-term perseverance for very long-term goals. And here is the most exciting, liberating part of her multi-year research. High intelligence is not the primary predictor of success.
Really? Truly? So I don't have to be a natural-born genius or have a perfect IQ to reach my highest dreams?
Not at all. In fact, Angela Duckworth found in her studies that sometimes the smarter students who scored highest on intelligence tests actually showed significantly less grit than those who scored lower. Why? Because when things finally got difficult, the naturally smart students didn't know how to handle failure. They mistakenly believed they should just be naturally good at everything without effort. But the gritty students, they understood that hard work, repetition, and staying with a difficult task was the actual key to mastery.
So if I can use a nautical metaphor, grit is like the powerful engine deep inside the boat that keeps it moving forward, even when the ocean waves are massive and the wind is blowing against it?
Yes, beautifully said, Stephen. Grit is the sustained tendency to maintain your interest and your effort over years, not just weeks. It's about sticking with things until they are completely mastered. And this connects perfectly back to the growth mindset. When you truly believe your intelligence can grow like a physical muscle, you naturally become much grittier. You completely stop seeing a mistake as a stop sign, and you start seeing it simply as useful information to help you adjust.
Okay, the picture is becoming clear. I have my daily execution system, the Ivy Lee method. I have my mental framework, grit, and a growth mindset. But what about the visual, creative side of dreaming? I constantly see people making these incredibly beautiful, artistic vision boards on social media. Do those actually work scientifically, or are they just pretty decorations for your bedroom wall?
They can be an incredibly powerful psychological tool, but there is a scientifically right way and a wrong way to build them. A vision board is a visual representation of your deepest dreams. It's a creative canvas where you display images, symbols, and quotes that deeply resonate with your core goals.
So if I want that dream house with the singing birds, I just find a picture of a multi-million-dollar mansion in a magazine, glue it to a piece of cardboard, and wait for it to appear?
Well, here's the catch, and where most people fail. If you only display perfect, glossy pictures of luxury things you want, your brain might actually relax too much. It experiences that warm, fuzzy feeling from the illusion of having it, which reduces your real-world drive. A truly effective, scientifically sound vision board should absolutely include realistic, relatable images of the path and the hard work, not just the final prize. It should also heavily include personal affirmations, positive, present tense words that remind you of your actual capability.
Like writing the phrase, I am fully capable of understanding, reading, and speaking English fluently through daily practice?
Exactly. That is a perfect affirmation. And crucially, you should also include pictures or symbols of your past personal milestones, things you have already successfully achieved in your life. This acts as a permanent visual reminder to your brain that you have been successful before, which builds concrete confidence for the future challenges. Whether you make a physical board with cardboard, glue, and scissors, or a digital version as your phone wallpaper, the ultimate secret is regular, conscious interaction.
So it shouldn't just sit in a closet? I need to actively look at it every single day?
Every single day, without fail. Position it in your office, on your desk, or as your smartphone lock screen. This constant visual exposure keeps your high-level goals top of mind. It subliminally primes your brain's reticular activating system to notice real-world opportunities that align perfectly with your dreams. It's like you are consciously training your eyes to look for the tools that will help you succeed.
I'm starting to see how all these beautiful pieces fit together into one master plan. But Mona, there is still one major thing that scares me. What about the people around us? Sometimes when I share my true dreams, the people closest to me don't see the vision. They tell me to stop daydreaming and to be realistic. It drains my energy.
Oh, Stephen, that can be so incredibly painful to experience, especially from loved ones. But remember what we said about dream doubters. You must remember this universal truth. Many times, their critical words are entirely about their own internal fear, not your actual human limits. They might feel deeply insecure or guilty about their own unreached, abandoned dreams. So they subconsciously try to keep you in the comfortable, safe zone with them so they don't feel left behind.
Wow.
It's like they are gently trying to pull me back down onto the cozy sofa with them because they don't want to sit on the sofa alone.
Exactly. And that is why you must learn to give your dream a jacket and an umbrella. This means you must actively protect it from the elements. You do not have to share your biggest, most precious, fragile dreams with everyone you meet. Keep them private, sacred, and protected, like a small, beautiful light you guard against the wind with your hands. Share your goals exclusively with people who truly understand your heart, like an inspiring teacher, a supportive mentor, or our wonderful global learning community here at Hop English.
That makes me feel so much better and lighter, Mona. I don't need the approval of the whole world. I just need to believe in the vision myself and protect it.
Precisely. And when that negative inner voice, your own learned self-doubt, gets loud and tries to tell you that you are too old, too slow, or not smart enough, don't make any major emotional decisions. Just close your eyes, breathe, and focus entirely on the next 10 minutes. Spending just 10 honest minutes practicing your English vocabulary or listening to a dialogue is a profound way of showing true loyalty to your dream. Loyalty means you stay present, even when the feelings are difficult.
Loyalty to the dream. I love that framing so much. It's not about being a perfect student every day. It's about being fundamentally loyal to your future.
Yes, your dream doesn't require a flawless, perfect version of you. It simply needs a resilient version of you who shows up, falls down, and comes back again and again. If you miss a day or even a whole week due to life getting busy, the dream hasn't vanished. It is a permanent direction, not a rigid deadline. As long as your face is turned toward your dream, you are still actively on the path to success.
I feel completely motivated to shut off my phone distractions and start my Ivy Lee list for tomorrow tonight. This conversation has been incredibly helpful for me, Mona.
I am so incredibly happy to hear that, Stephen. And to every single one of you watching and listening to us, you have a unique dream inside your heart for a reason. It was placed there to make your life exciting, purposeful, and deeply meaningful. Don't let it stay just a passive wish in your mind. Use these scientific tools. Start your daily anchor tomorrow morning. Write down your deep why. Before we go today, we have a small but powerful community challenge for you. Right now, in the comments section below this video, write this exact sentence. I am your name from your country, and one small step I will take for my dream this week is. When you type those words out, you are actively practicing your English writing, and you are publicly respecting your own dream.
And we really do read those comments thoroughly. We want to be your digital buddy system for constant support, encouragement, and real accountability.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for spending your valuable time with us today on the Hop English podcast. Always remember, you don't have to see the entire mountain ahead of you. You just have to have the courage to take the very next step. We believe in you completely.
See you in the next episode, everyone.
Keep going, keep growing, and keep speaking. Bye for now.